ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Namaste my dear friends, this is 10th video on Talks with Swami Vivekananda. 10th video will start with talk number 30. Laws of Brahmacharya, new order of sannyasis, wanted karma yoga as taught in the Gita. Place the Balur Mutt under construction year beginning of 1899. The present mutt buildings are almost complete now. Swamiji is not in good health, therefore doctors have advised him to go out on boat in the mornings and evenings on the Ganges. Today is Sunday. The disciple is sitting in Swamiji's room and conversing with him. About this time, Swami framed certain rules for the guidance of the sannyasis and brahmacharis of the mutt, the object of which was to keep them from indiscriminate mixing with worldly people. The conversation turned on this topic. Swamiji, nowadays I feel a peculiar smell of lax self-control in the dress and clothes of worldly people. Therefore, I have made it a rule in the mutt that householders should not sit or lie on the beds of sadhus. Formerly, I used to read in the Shastras that such a smell is felt and therefore sannyasis cannot bear the smell of householders. Now I see it is true. By strictly observing the rules that have been framed, the brahmacharis will in time grow into genuine sannyasis. When they are established in the ideal of sannyasa, they will be able to mix on an equal footing with the worldly man without any harm. But now, if they are not kept within the barriers of strict rules, they will all go wrong. In order to attain to ideal brahmacharya, one has in the beginning to observe strict rules regarding chastity. Not only should one keep oneself strictly aloof from the least association with the opposite sex, but also give up the company of married people even. The disciple who was a householder was awed at these words of Swamiji, felt dejected that he would not be able to associate freely as before with the sadhus of the mutt, and said, "Sir, I feel more intimacy with the mutt and its inmates than with my own family, as if they are known to me from a long time. The unbounded freedom that I enjoy in the mutt, I feel nowhere else in the world." Swamiji, all those who are pure in spirit will feel like that here. Those who do not feel so must be taken as not belonging to this mutt and its ideals. That is the reason why many people come here out of mere sensation mongering and then run away. Those who are devoid of continence and are running after money day and night will never be able to appreciate the ideals of the mutt, nor regard the mutt people as their own. The sannyasis of this mutt are not like those of old, as besmeared with matted hair and iron tongs in their hands and curing disease by medicinal tidbits. Therefore, seeing the contrast, people cannot appreciate them. The ways, movements, and ideas of our master were all cast in a new mold, so we are also of a new type. Sometimes dressed like gentlemen, we are engaged in lecturing; at other times, throwing all aside with hara hara, vyom vyom on the lips, as clad we are immersed in meditation and austerities in mountains and forests. Now it won't do to merely quote the authority of our ancient books. The tidal wave of Western civilization is now rushing over the length and breadth of the country. It won't do now simply to sit in meditation on mountain tops without realizing in the least its usefulness. Now is wanted, as said in the Gita by the Lord, intense karma yoga with unbounded grace and indomitable strength in the heart. Then only will the people of the country be roused. Otherwise, they will continue to be as much in the dark as you are. The day is nearly ended. Swamiji came downstairs dressed for the boating excursion on the Ganges. Swamiji, accompanied by the disciple and two others, boarded the boat which passed the Dakshineshwar temple and reached Panihati, where it was anchored below the garden house of Babu Govinda Kumar Chaudhary. It had once been proposed to rent this house for the use of the mutt. Swamiji descended from the boat, went round the house and the garden, and looking over the place minutely said, "The garden is nice, but it is at a great distance from Calcutta. The devotees of Sri Ramakrishna would have been put to trouble to walk such a long distance from Calcutta. It is fortunate that the mutt has not been established here." The boat then returned to the mutt amid the enveloped darkness. Talk number 31. Meeting with Nag Mahasaya. Place Balur Mutt, year beginning of 1899. The disciple has today come to the mutt with Nag Mahasaya in company. Swamiji to Nag Mahasaya, saluting him. "You are all right, I hope." Nag Mahasaya, "I have come today to visit you." "Glory to Sankara, glory to Sankara. I am blessed today verily with the sight of Shiva." Saying these words, Nag Mahasaya, out of reverence, stood with joined hands before him. "Swamiji, how is your health?" Nag Mahasaya, "Why are you asking about this trifling body, this cage of flesh and bones? Verily I am blessed today to see you." Saying these words, Nag Mahasaya prostrated before Swamiji, lifting him up. "Why are you doing that to me?" Nag Mahasaya, "I see with my inner eye that today I am blessed with the vision of Shiva himself. Glory to Ramakrishna." Swamiji, addressing the disciple, "Do you see how real bhakti transforms human nature?" Nag Mahasaya has lost himself in the divine. His body consciousness has vanished altogether. To Swami Premananda, get some prasada for Nag Mahasaya. Nag Mahasaya, prasada to Swamiji with folded hands. "Seeing you, all my earthly hunger has vanished today." The brahmacharis and sannyasis of the mutt were studying the Upanishads. Swamiji said to them, "Today a great devotee of Sri Ramakrishna has come amongst us. Let it be a holiday in honor of Nag Mahasaya's visit to the mutt." So all closed their books and sat in a circle around Nag Mahasaya. Swamiji also sat in front of him. Swamiji, addressing all, "Do you see? Look at Nag Mahasaya. He is a householder, yet he has No knowledge of the mundane existence. He always lives lost in divine consciousness. To Nagamahasaya, please tell us and these brahmacharis something about Sri Ramakrishna. Nagamahasaya, in reverence, what do you say, sir? What shall I say? I have come to see you, the hero, the helper in the divine play of Sri Ramakrishna. Now will people appreciate his message and teachings. Glory to Ramakrishna. Swamiji, it is you who have really appreciated and understood Sri Ramakrishna. We are only spent in useless wanderings. Nag Mahasaya, what do you say, sir? You are the image of Sri Ramakrishna, the obverse and reverse of the same coin. Those who have eyes, let them see. Swamiji is the starting of these mutt and ashrams, etc. A step in the right direction. Nagamasa, I am an insignificant being. What do I understand? Whatever you do, I know for a certainty that will conduce to the well-being of the world, I of the world. Many, out of reverence, proceeded to take the dust of Nagmahasa's feet, which made him much agitated. Swamiji, addressing all, said, don't act so as to cause pain to Nagmahasa. He feels uncomfortable hearing this. Everybody desisted. Swamiji, do people come and stay at the mutt? You will be an object lesson to the boys here. Nagmahasa, I once asked Sri Ramakrishna about that, to which he replied, stay as a householder as you are doing. Therefore, I am continuing in that life. I see you are all occasionally and feel myself blessed. Swamiji, I will go to your place once. Nagamahasa, mad with joy, said, shall such a day dawn, my place will be made holy by your visit like Banaras. Shall I be so fortunate as that? Swamiji, well, I have the desire. Now it depends on mother to take me there. Nagamahasa, who will understand you? Unless the inner vision opens, nobody can understand you. Only Sri Ramakrishna understood you. All else have simply put faith in his words, but none has understood you really. Swamiji, now my one desire is to rouse the country, the sleeping Levi- Leviathan that has lost all faith in his power and makes no response. If I can wake it up to a sense of the eternal religion, then I shall know that Sri Ramakrishna's advent and our birth are fruitful. That is the one desire in my heart. Mukti and all else appear of no consequence to me. Please give me your blessings that I may succeed. Nagamahasa, Sri Ramakrishna will bless. Who can turn the course of your will? Whatever you will shall come to pass. Swamiji, well, nothing comes to pass without his will behind it. Nagamahasa, your will and his have become one. Whatever is your will is his. Glory to Sri Ramakrishna. Swamiji, to work one requires a strong body. Since coming to this country, I am not doing well. In the West, I was in very good health. Nagamahasya. Whenever one is born in a body, Sri Ramakrishna used to say, one has to pay the house tax. Disease and sorrow are the tax. But your body is a box of gold mohors and and very great care should be taken of it. But who will do it? Who will understand? Only Sri Ramakrishna understood. Glory to Ramakrishna. Swamiji, all at the mutt take great care of me. to it whether they know it or not. If proper attention is not paid to your body, then the chances are that it will follow. Swamiji, Nag Mahasaya, I do not fully understand whether what I am doing is right or not. At particular times, I feel a great inclination to work in a certain direction and I work according to that. Whether it is for good or evil, I cannot understand. Nag Mahasaya, well, Sri Ramakrishna said, the treasure is now locked, therefore he does not let you know fully. The moment you know it, your play of human life will be at an end. Swamiji was pondering something with steadfast gaze. Then Swami Premananda brought some prasada for Nag Mahasaya, who was ecstatic with joy. Shortly after Nag Mahasaya found Swamiji slowly digging the ground with a spade near the pond and held him by the hand, saying, when we are present, why should you do that? Swamiji, leaving the spade, walked about the garden talking the while and began to narrate to a disciple. After Sri Ramakrishna's passing away, we heard one day that Nag Mahasaya was lying in fast in his humble tiled lodgings in Calcutta. Myself, Swami Triyananda and another went together and appeared at Nag Mahasaya's cottage. Seeing us, he rose from his bed. We said, we shall have our bhiksha food here today. At once Nag Mahasaya brought rice, cooking pot and fuel etc. from the bazaar and began to cook. We thought that we would eat and make Nag Mahasaya also eat. Cooking over, he gave the food to us. We set apart something for him and then sat down to eat. After this, we requested him to take food. He at once broke the pot of rice and, striking his forehead, began to say, shall I give food to the body in which God has not been realized? Seeing this, we were struck with amazement. Later on, after much persuasion, we induced him to take some food and then returned. Swamiji, will Nag Mahasaya stay in the mutt tonight? Disciple, no, he has some work, he must return today. Swamiji, then look for a boat, it is getting dark. When the boat came, the disciple and Nag Mahasaya saluted Swamiji and started for Calcutta. Talk number 32. Brahma, Ishvara, Jiva and Avidya, renunciation and self-realization. How to control the mind, Atma as the object of meditation, Jnana, Bhakti, Karma and Yoga. The doctrine of incarnation of God, exhortation for self-realization, work of a Jnani. Place Balurmat, year 1899. Swamin is now in very good health. The disciple has come to the mutt on a Sunday morning. After visiting Swamiji, he has come downstairs and is discussing the Vedantic scriptures with Swami Nirmalananda. At this moment, Swamiji himself came downstairs and addressing the disciple said, what were you discussing with Nirmalananda? Disciple, sir, he was saying the Brahma of the Vedanta is only known to you and your Swamiji. We, on the contrary, know Krishnastu Bhagwan Swam, that Sri Krishna is the Lord incarnate. Swamiji, what did you say, disciple? I said that the Atma is the one truth and that Krishna was merely a person who had realized this Atma. Swami Nirmalananda is at heart a believer in the Vedanta, but now outwardly he takes up the dualistic side of arguments. His first idea seemed to be to moot the personal aspect of Isvara and then by a gradual process of reasoning to strengthen the foundation of Vedanta. But as soon as he calls me a Vaishnava, I forget his real intention and begin a heated discussion with him. Swamiji, he loves you and so enjoys the fun of teasing you, but why should you be upset by his words? You will also answer, you, sir, you are atheist, a believer of nihility. Disciple, sir, is there any such statement in the Upanishads that Ishvara is an all-powerful personality, but people generally believe in such an Ishvara? Swamiji, the highest principle, the Lord of all, cannot be a person. The Jiva is an individual and the sum total of all Jivas is the Ishvara. In the Jiva, avidya or nescience is predominant, but the Ishvara controls Maya composed of avidya and vidya and independently projects this world of moving and immovable things out of himself. But Brahma transcends both the individual and collective aspects, the Jiva and Ishvara. In Brahma, there is no part. It is for the sake of easy comprehension that parts have been imagined in it. The part of Brahma in which there is the supreme position of creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the universe has been spoken of as Ishvara in the scriptures, while the other unchangeable portion with reference to which there is no thought of duality is indicated as Brahma. But do not on that account think that Brahma is a distinct and separate substance from the jivas and the universe. The qualified monists hold that it is Brahma that has transformed itself into jivas and the universe. The Advaitins, on the contrary, maintain that on the Brahma, Jivas, and the universe have been merely superimposed. But in Brahma, the Advaitin says that the universe consists only in name and form. It endures only so long as there are name and form. When through meditation and other practices name and form are dissolved, then only the transcendent Brahma remains. Then the separate reality of jivas and the universe is felt no longer. Then it is realized that I am the eternal pure essence of intelligence or Brahma. The real nature of the jiva is Brahma. When the veil of name and form vanishes through meditation, etc., then that idea is simply realized. This is the substance of pure Advaita. The Vedas, the Vedanta, and all other scriptures only explain this idea in different ways. Disciple. How then is it true that the Isvara is an almighty person, Swamiji? Man is man in so far as he is qualified by the limiting adjunct of mind. Through the mind he has to understand and grasp everything, and therefore whatever he thinks must be limited by the mind. Hence it is the natural tendency of man to argue from the analogy of his own personality, the personality of Ishvara, God. Man can only think of his ideal as a human being. When buffeted by sorrows in this world of disease and death, he is driven to desperation and helplessness. Then he seeks refuge with someone relying on whom he may feel safe. But where is that refuge to be found? The omnipresent Atma, which depends on nothing else to support, it is the only refuge. At first, man does not find that. When discrimination and dispassion arise in the course of meditation and spiritual practices, he comes to know it. But in whatever way he may progress on the path of spirituality, everyone is unconsciously awakening the Brahma within him. But the means may be different in different cases. Those who have faith in the personal God have to undergo spiritual practices holding on to that idea. If there is so sincerity, through that will comes the awakening of the line of Brahma within. The knowledge of Brahma is the one goal of all beings, but the various ideas are the various paths to it. Although the real nature of the Jiva is the Brahma, still as he has identification with the qualifying adjunct of mind, he suffers from all sorts of doubts and difficulties, pleasure and pain. But everyone from Burma down to a blade of grass is advancing towards the realization of his real nature. And none can escape the round of births and deaths until he realizes his identity with the Brahma. Getting the human birth when the desire for freedom becomes very strong, and along with it comes the grace of a person of realization, the man's desire for self knowledge becomes intensified. Otherwise, the mind of man given to lust and wealth never inclines that way. How should the desire to know Brahma arise in one who has the hankering in his mind for the pleasures of family life, for wealth and for fame? He who is prepared to renounce all, who amid the strong current of the duality of good and evil, happiness and misery, is calm, steady, balanced, and awake to his ideal, alone endeavors to attain to self-knowledge. He alone, by the might of his own power, tears asunder the net of the world and breaking the barriers of Maya, emerging like a mighty lion. Nirapchi Jagwalat Pijradal Kesro, disciple. Well, then is it true that without sannyasa there can be no knowledge of Dharma? Again, I repeat this question, disciple. Well, then, is it true that without sannyasa there can be no knowledge of Dharma, Swamiji? That is true 1,000 times. One must have both internal and external sannyasa. Renunciation in spirit as well as formal renunciation. Shankaracharya, in commenting on the Upanishadic text, neither by tapas, spiritual practice, devoid of necessary accompaniments, has said that by practicing sadhana without the external badge of sannyasa, the girva of the staff and kamandalu, etc., the Brahma, which is difficult to attain, is not realized. Without this passion for the world, without renunciation, without giving up the desire for enjoyment, and absolutely nothing can be accomplished in spiritual life. It is not like a sweet meat in the hands of a child which you can snatch by a trick. Disciple, but sir, in the course of spiritual practices, that renunciation may come, Swamiji. Let those to whom it will come gradually have it in that way. But why should you sit and wait for that? at once begin to dig the channel which will convey the waters of spirituality to your life. Sri Ramakrishna used to depreciate lukewarmness in spiritual attainments, as for instance saying that religion would come gradually and that there was no hurry for it. When one is thirsty, can one sit idle? Does he not run about for water? Because your thirst for spirituality has not come, therefore you are sitting idly. The desire for knowledge has not grown strong, therefore you are satisfied with the little pleasures of the family life. Disciple: really, I do not understand why I don't get that idea of renouncing everything. Do make some way for that, please, Swamiji. The end and the means are all in your hands. I can only stimulate them. You have read so many scriptures and are serving and associating with such Brahmgyani sadhus. If even this does not bring the idea of renunciation, then your life is in vain. But it will not be altogether vain. The effects of this will manifest some way or other in time. The disciple was much dejected and then again addressing Swamiji said, Sir, I have come under your refuse. Do open the path of mukti for me that I may realize the truth in this body. Swamiji, what fear is there? Always disseminate your body, your house. These jivas and world are all absolutely unreal like a dream. Always think that this body is only an inert instrument and the self-contained Purusha within is your real nature. The adjunct of mind is his first and subtle covering, then there is this body which is his gross outer covering. The individual changeless, self-effulgent Purusha is lying hidden under these delusive veils, therefore your real nature is unknown to you. The direction of the mind which always runs after the senses has to be turned within. The mind has to be killed. The body is but gross. It dies and dissolves in the five elements, but the bundle of mental impressions, which is the mind, does not die soon. It remains for the it remains for some time in seed form and then sprouts and grows in the form of a tree. It takes on another physical body and goes the round of birth and death until self-knowledge arises. Therefore do I say that by meditation and concentration and by the power of philosophical discrimination, plunge this mind in the ocean of existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. When the mind dies, all limiting adjuncts vanish and you are established in the Dharma. Disciple, sir, it is so difficult to direct this uncontrollable mind toward Brahma. Swamiji, is there anything difficult for the hero? Only man of faint heart speaks so. वीराणि मेव कर्तलगता mukti ne pune ka purushanam. Mukti is easy of attainment only to the hero but not to the cowards, says the Gita. Abhyasen tu kaunte vairagyen grihate. By renunciation and by practice is the mind brought under control, O Arjuna. The chitta or mind stuff is like a transparent lake and the waves which rise in it by the impact of sense impressions constitute manas or the mind. Therefore, the mind consists of a succession of thought waves. From these mental waves arises desire, then that desire transforms itself into will and works through its gross instrument, the body. Again, as work is endless, so its fruits also are endless. Hence, the mind is always being tossed by the countless myriads of waves, the fruits of work. This mind has to be divested of all modifications, vrittis, and reconverted into the transparent lake so that there remains not a single wave of modification in it. Then will the Brahma manifest itself. The scriptures give a glimpse of this state in such passages as then all the knots of the heart are cut asunder, etc. Do you understand? Disciple, yes, sir, but meditation must face itself on some base itself on some object, Swamiji. You yourself will be the object of your meditation. Think and meditate that you are the omnipresent Atma. I am neither the body nor the mind nor the buddhi, determinative faculty, neither the gross nor the subtle body. By this process of elimination, immerse your mind in the transcendent knowledge which is your real nature. Kill the mind by thus plunging it repeatedly in this. Then only you will realize the essence of intelligence or be established in your real nature. Knower and known, meditator and object meditated upon will then become one, and the cessation of all phenomenal superimpositions will follow. This is styled in the Shastras as the transcendence of the tride of relative knowledge. Tripati Bheda. There is no relative or conditioned knowledge in this state. When the Atma is the only knower, by what means can you possibly know it? The Atma is knowledge, the Atma is intelligence, the Atma is Satchidananda. It is through that inscrutable power of Maya, which cannot be indicated as either existent or non-existent, that the relative consciousness has come upon the jivas, who is none other than Brahma. This is generally known as the conscious state, and the state in which this duality of relative existence becomes one in the pure Brahma is called in the scriptures the superconscious state and described in such words as a Sit mitli rasi parkha ke vihin. It is like an ocean perfectly at rest and without a name. Swamiji spoke these words as if from within the profound depths of the realization of Brahma. Swamiji, all philosophy and scriptures have come from the plane of relative knowledge of subject and object, but not thought or language of the human mind can fully express the reality which lies beyond the plane of relative knowledge. Science and philosophy, etc., are only partial truths, so they can never be the adequate channels of expression for the transcendent reality. Hence, viewed from the transcendent standpoint, everything appears to be unreal religious creeds and works. I and thou and the universe, everything is unreal. Then only it is perceived that I am the only reality. I am the all pervading Atma, and I am the proof of my own existence. Where is the room for a separate proof to establish the reality of my existence? I am, as the scriptures say, Nitya Pratingam, always known to myself as the eternal subject. I have actually seen that state, realized it. You also see and realize it and preach this truth of Brahma to all. Then only would you attain to peace. While speaking these words, Swamiji's face wore a serious expression and he was lost in thought. After some time he continued, realize in your own life this knowledge of Dharma which comprehends all theories and is the rationale of all truths and preach it to the world. This will conduce to your own good and the good of others as well. I have told you today the essence of all truth. There is nothing higher than this. Disciple, sir, now you are speaking of jnana, but sometimes you proclaim the superiority of bhakti, sometimes of karma, and sometimes of yoga. This confuses our understanding, Swamiji. Well, the truth is this: the knowledge of Brahma is the ultimate goal, the highest destiny of man. But man cannot remain absorbed in Brahma all the time. When he comes out of it, he must have something to engage himself. At that time, he should do such work as will contribute to the real well being of the people. Therefore, do I urge you in the service of Jivas in a spirit of oneness, but my son, such are the intricacies of work that even great saints are caught in them and become attached. Therefore, work has to be done without any desire for results. This is the teaching of the Gita, but know that in the knowledge of Dharma, there is no touch of any relation with work. Good works at the most purify the mind, therefore, has the commentator Sankara so sharply criticized the doctrine of the combination of jnana and karma. Some attain to the knowledge of Brahma by means of unselfish work. This is also a means, but the end is the realization of Dharma. Know this thoroughly that the goal of the path of discrimination of all other modes of practice is the realization of Dharma. Disciple, now sir, please tell me about the utility of Raja Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Swamiji, striving in these paths also some attain to the realization of Dharma. The path of bhakti or devotion to God is a slow process but is easy of practice. In the path of yoga, there are many obstacles. Perhaps the mind runs after the psychic powers and thus draws you away from attaining your real nature. Only the path of jnana is of quick fruition and the rational of all other creeds, hence it is equally esteemed in all countries and all ages. But even in the path of discrimination, there is the chance of the mind getting stuck in the interminable net of vain argumentation. Therefore, along with it, meditation should be practiced by means of discrimination and meditation. The goal or dharma has to be reached. One is sure to reach the goal by practicing in this way. This is my opinion is the easy path ensuring quick success. Disciple, now please tell me something about the doctrine of incarnation of God. Swamiji, you want to master everything in a day, it seems. Disciples are, if the doubt and difficulties of the mind be solved in one day, then I shall not have to trouble you time and again. Swamiji, by whose grace the knowledge of this Atma, which is extolled so much in the scriptures, is attained in a minute. They are the moving tirthas, seats of holiness, the incarnations. From their very birth, they are knowers of Brahma, and between Brahma and the knower of Brahma, there is not the least difference. Brahma Ved Brahmev Bhavati. He who knows the Brahma becomes the Brahma. The Atma cannot be known by the mind, for it is itself the knower. This I have already said. Therefore, man's relative knowledge reaches up to the Avatars, those who are always established in the Atma, the highest ideal of Ishvara, which the human mind can grasp is the Avatara. Beyond this, there is no relative knowledge. Such knowers of Brahma are rarely born in the world, and very few people can understand them. They alone are the proof of the truths of scriptures, the pillars of light in the ocean of the world. By the company of such avatars and by their grace, the darkness of the mind disappears in a trice and realization flashes immediately in the heart. Why or by what process it comes, it cannot be ascertained, but it does come. I have seen it happen like that. Sri Krishna spoke the Gita, establishing himself in the Atma. Those passages of the Gita where references to the word I occur invariably indicate the Atma. Take refuge in me alone means be established in the Atma. This knowledge of Atma is the highest aim of Gita. The reference to yoga, etc., are but incidental to this realization of the Atma. Those who have not this knowledge of the Atma are suicides. They kill themselves by the clinging to the unreal. They lose their life in the noose of sense pleasures. You are also man, and can't you ignore the stress of sensual enjoyment that won't last for 2 days? Should you also swell the ranks of those who are born and die in utter ignorance, accept the beneficial and discard the pleasant? Speak of this Atma to all, even to the lowest. By continued speaking, your own intelligence also will clear up. And always repeat the great mantra Tatomasi. Thou art that, Soham Asmi. I am that, Sarva Khalvidam Brahma. All this is Brahma, and have the courage of a lion in the heart. What is there to fear? Fear is death. Fear is the greatest sin. The human soul, represented by Arjuna, was touched with fear. Therefore, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, established in the Atma, spoke to him the teachings of the Gita. Still, his fear would not leave him. Later, when Arjuna saw the universal form of the Lord and became established in the Atma, then with all bondages of karma burnt by the fire of knowledge, he fought the battle. Disciple, sir, can a man do work even after realization? Swamiji, after realization, what is ordinarily called work does not persist. It changes its character. The work which the Gyani does only conduces to the well-being of the world. Whatever a man of realization says or does contributes to the welfare of all. We have observed Sri Ramakrishna, he was as it were Dehesopine Dehesvaha, in the body but not of it. Absolute about the motive of the actions of such personages, only this can be said. Lokvattu Leela Kavalayam. Everything they do like man is simply by way of sport. I end this video here. This is a wonderful video of Swami Vivekananda. He has imparted Brahma Jnana and Atma Jnana to his disciple through question answer. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment and share the video and subscribe the channel. Thanks a lot. Namaskar, my dear friends. Next video number 11 will start with talk number 33.